Hey everyone, my name is Taps, and as you all know by now, Veve announcing Disney, Pixar, and Star Wars NFTs is big news. But it's actually just one of a collection of exciting, bullish news for Ecomi, Veve, and NFTs overall. In this video, I'm going to be covering how the stars are aligning and pointing the masses straight to Veve, why the OMI token is only up 25% or so off this news, but is inevitably moonbound soon, and why I believe this is just the calm before the storm. As always, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the community and feel free to subscribe. I'm a crypto stock and real estate investor, but never a financial advisor. Before we get into the news, I'm sure some of you go, yeah, the calm before the storm, how do you know? Well, no one knows for sure what's going to happen in any market. Let me explain my reasoning for this as it's happened before. Back on June 24th, Veve announced Marvel NFTs, right? And we all celebrated because this was massive news and we had called it, right? But do you recall how short-lived that was? It was major news to us as a community, but it really wasn't covered heavily in the media, in the news. And back in June, the entire market was in a down run. NFT crypto had been butchered. However, based on that news, the price did actually go ahead and double. It shot up from 0.0014 to just around 0.0028. And then the next day actually consolidated down to 0.002. And it remained there for 1 week before it then shot up 250% that following week. On June 28th at 0.0021, I made another storm reference in a video where I said Ecomi is building the perfect storm. 3 days after I made that video, again, that 250% run happened. There have been very unique times in the past 8 months of reporting all things Ecomi and Veve where things just kind of align perfectly. And it did so at that start of July, and then we saw it actually consolidated down because there weren't really any catalysts to follow for about a month and a half. But then the start of September, it started moving way up, and that 0.002 was never seen again. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but I believe this time right now is another one of those times. I believe soon enough, 0.006, we will never see again, and here is a slew of reasons why. Unlike Marvel, this time around, the Disney news is everywhere. Bitcoin news, Bitcoin.com, Bitcoinist, Benzinga, Cointelegraph, CoinMarketCap, Business Insider, Crypto Ticker, Econotimes, and this is in the past 24 hours. And this is before even the collectibles drop, so the news will continue, especially when they report that they sold out instantly, or when they report just how lucrative this is for Disney. And how much could Disney stand to make in the NFT game, especially with Veve? I actually don't need to crunch numbers because The Motley Fool, one of the largest financial advice article companies, wrote this pretty funnily enough timed article 10 days ago on how Disney will lose out on billions if it doesn't do this, which is NFTs. According to AppRadar, which Veve just actually had an AMA with them not long ago, trading in NFTs climbed 10.7 billion in the third quarter, an increase of more than 700% from the previous quarter. Disney has arguably the best IP in the world. It has millions, if not billions, of fans, so why not go into the NFT space? It won't cost much, but it will make hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in the future. It then goes on to say Marvel released a couple of NFTs this summer with prices from $40 to $400 depending on the rarity. Guess what company it's talking about without even mentioning Ecomi or Veve? The whole time we knew that Disney was going to come to Veve. So The Motley Fool, guess what? They're not going to lose out on billions because they're going to be making a ton of money through Veve, which as a Disney shareholder, I am stoked. Another timely article just a few days before that, CoinDesk actually came out with an article that said Disney, EA, Robinhood, WWE to benefit the most from NFTs. It goes very in depth into what's going to be hurt by NFTs, what's going to do well, and Disney is a big one, but it says while Disney doesn't appear to have entered the NFT market yet, has now, competitor Fox Entertainment announced in June it was putting $100 million behind its NFT-driven blockchain experiment, and they did just come out with how the WWE is crashing into the NFT ring with Fox, chasing digital collectibles gold rush. Now we've seen how there was a DeLorean NFT on another platform and DC Fandom on Palm. It didn't hurt Veve, right? But people were like, oh man, like they're not exclusive, they can come on other things. Well, that side works both ways. We'll see some of the brands on Veve do some other stuff with other platforms because it's lucrative for them, right? They won't take off the same, but they can do so. The same can be done with Veve. And WWE is another massive license that I strongly believe we already have and just haven't announced. Because again, our man Al Khan, and for those who are not familiar with Al Khan, he is the head of global licensing at Ecomi. He's the man responsible for bringing Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! To the US. He is the king of industry when it comes to licensors and branding. And guess what? He has held Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Nintendo, James Bond, WWF, which is now owned by WWE licensing. And you could say, oh, speculation. Well, we already saw James Bond come to life in an amazing way, right? We speculated on Marvel, came true. We speculated on Disney, Star Wars, Pixar, came true. So while WWE did just come out with the Fox side, I believe it's fair to say that is just another licensor that is waiting to be announced from Veve. And of course, nothing is confirmed until they come out and say it, but all of these massive licensors no longer feels like it's an if they have the license, it's just a matter of when they announce. And you may not care about wrestling, but WWE is a massive, massive brand with 11.6 million followers on Twitter, broadcasts in more than 180 countries in 28 languages, and can be seen in 900 million television households worldwide each week. And did you notice that they use digital collectibles in that article? Those words, digital collectibles, are being used more and more than just NFTs because companies are realizing it's a better way of capturing the masses' interest instead of just relying on NFTs. Yeah, and Veve identified this back in 2018 when they had to explain to all these licensors who had no idea what NFTs were back there, what they were. So Veve has a 3-year head start ahead of anyone else and have built a mountain while others are building a mound at this point. I love this tweet from Jeremy Powder. I love showing it because he even highlights what happened 3 years ago, and he was skeptical back in 2018. And Jeremy Padower is another person who's, of course, aligned with Veve and Ecomi as an advisor, who holds the Master Toy license for Pokemon, among a slew of other things. But that word, digital collectibles, translate into more bullish news as Alibaba and Tencent rebrand NFT offerings as digital collectibles amid Beijing scrutiny of new virtual asset market. China is the most populated country in the world, and they just had 2 of their most well-known companies change NFT offering verbiage to digital collectibles. Alibaba is essentially the Amazon of China, and Tencent is one of the most successful game companies, especially in mobile gaming. There are 1.4 billion people in China, which has been a crypto holding mega power for a while and professional crypto FUD maker for years. But 2 of the biggest companies in China just flipped the script to start having people search for digital collectibles and not just NFTs. What do you think they're going to find? When I typed in digital collectibles, look what I found. Next bullish news on why this is the calm before the storm. I'm sure most have heard this, but Facebook had already announced that they were going to become a metaverse company, but they actually are moving forward on that and changed the company's name to Meta and focus on metaverse, with a logo that looks a lot like augmented reality goggles to me. But social media services will retain Facebook name as an umbrella company, readies billions in investments in new mixed reality platform. Everyone has different viewpoints on Facebook. I know there's a lot of issues with privacy, but it is one of the most recognized social platforms in the world. It is a wildly successful company, and it has more social outreach ability than most other companies in the world as well. But this isn't what excited me the most. This was Facebook's metaverse will support NFTs. So Facebook said Thursday the company's metaverse will support NFTs in a possible boost to the Ethereum protocol. They could have chose Solana or AVAX, but they chose Ethereum and are setting a large example for other companies to rely on the golden standard, which is Ethereum. And I'm not hating on Solana or AVAX. I hold both. I believe in both long term. But this is bullish for Veve and Ecomi, because if they're building on Ethereum and working with Ethereum-based NFTs, then this helps Ethereum and all solutions built on Ethereum like Immutable X, which Ecomi, the OMI token, is moving from GoChain to Immutable X. And if you haven't seen how Immutable X NFTs are performing, they are crushing in value. And the whole world is starting to learn more and more about how incredible Immutable X is built on Ethereum. So Facebook welcoming Ethereum NFTs is very bullish for OMI as well. Last piece is it's feeling a lot like March because massive influencers are seeing it's fun to cover OMI and Veve again. And if you weren't around during March, well, look what happened back in March. That's when we hit our all-time high, when everything was euphoric and crazy. That was when Andre Jick and Logan Paul and BitBoy and everyone was covering it. But it's starting to happen again, as we saw Altcoin Daily with 1 million subs mentioned the Disney news, called out Veve and OMI, said OMI is their homie in their video today. And yesterday, Andre Jick, who is on Millennial Money, which is a collection of millionaires and very much well looked up to stock and crypto traders, showed everyone on screen that he is a die-hard Veve fanatic now. He spoke about his OMI investment, and he is like the main crypto guy of the group, but all of these guys have massive followings. He went from an investor to now a true fan. And what do fans do? We spread the message. We show everyone like, oh man, you got to get in these collectibles. You got to get the OMI token. And now we have someone with a huge reach doing that. It's just a matter of time until he puts out another OMI video. And that's how a lot of people found OMI back in March. As you can see, 1.72 million subs. Meet Kevin, who is one of my favorite places to get stock news, also has 1.72 million subs. The other guy on there is Graham Stephan with 3.48 million subs. In Financial Education with Jeremy, who has 700,000 subs. So as the collectibles go up, as OMI goes up, what do you think he's going to be talking about with these guys? He's already talked about it with them. But when he started talking about the Veve collectibles, I knew that this was going to create a wave into the larger whales and more the audience. 15 days ago, I actually said just this. So he has many large fellow whale investor friends. People lean on him for advice. People look to him for answers. And he is also one of the 4 hosts from Millennial Money, which meet Kevin, Jeremy, and Graham Stephan, who all of these guys have millions of followers, are all millionaires. And Andre, leaning a bit more into Veve, is bullish for those who are looking to step into the NFT world without having to really dive as fully into the crypto NFT world, because again, Veve is that great bridge. And all of these things have happened in the past week, if not in the past day or two. This is so incredibly bullish for Veve, and it takes some time when people first find Veve for users to come into Veve and then learn about OMI. But even if they don't, more users are coming, which means more OMI will burn. And as they come to learn, more investors will dive in as well, which just means that the gain that's going to come out of OMI is going to scale. Disney, Pixar, Star Wars drops are about to happen in 10 days. DesignerCon, DCon is about to happen, which will show off and bring a whole nother fandom thanks to the Artist Alley piece. And we saw a huge jump in price of many collectibles today based on the Master Collector Program Medium article that finally came out. And I will go into that in a whole nother video once I have time. But the OMI token just needs Ecomi to announce the phase 3, the final phase of the immutable migration, which is, of course, where our GoChain OMI tokens migrate to the Ethereum Layer 2 solution with Immutable X. Then we can finally be able to sell our collectibles in an open NFT marketplace. Exchanges will come, which we've known about for months, and staking in so much more utility to the OMI token. At this point, and I get it, it is hard to be patient, especially when you see so many tokens shooting up during this start to a new altcoin rally. But at this point, I believe they have almost kind of like delayed purposely In order to stack up all of these catalysts to just be boom, 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 to follow the big news, which ensures that the momentum around the token will have a strong rise when it breaks all-time high. And so there isn't another lull like we've seen in a few of the big run-ups previously. When OMI breaks all-time high, that's when the fun really begins. So this is the calm before the storm, my friends. Hold fast. As always, I hope you found my content valuable, and if so, please hit the like button and leave a comment down below. The likes and comments appease the algo overlords and help my channel to continue to grow. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell for future content. That's it for today. I'm Taps. Thank you for your time, and happy trading.